Hello, and welcome to KeyLang Daily News for Sunday, August 2, 2026. Today we bring you 20 stories from around the world, covering conflict, health, politics, and the economy. As always, we aim to report the facts clearly and to present different points of view. Let's begin. News 1. Missile strikes on Kyiv kill 9. At least 9 people were killed and dozens injured in missile strikes on Kyiv early Saturday, according to Ukrainian officials. They reported that ballistic missiles hit 5 districts of the capital before dawn. Ukrainian authorities said Russian forces have increased attacks on the city in recent days. Russia has said its strikes target military-related sites. Rescue teams searched damaged buildings throughout the day. News 2. Reported shift on Ukraine air defense support. According to NPR, President Trump is stepping back from an earlier promise to increase support for Ukraine's missile defense systems. The report said the change comes as Ukrainian cities continue to face heavy attacks. Ukrainian officials have repeatedly asked partners for more air defense equipment. The White House has not given full details on the reported decision. The situation remains under discussion. News 3. Ukraine says it sank Russian container ship. Ukrainian officials said their forces sank a Russian container ship, reporting the action as part of ongoing operations at sea. The announcement came on the same day as the deadly strikes on Kyiv. Russia has not confirmed the reported loss. Both sides have claimed successes in the Black Sea region during the conflict. Independent confirmation of such claims is often difficult to obtain. News 4. 3 killed in Moscow restaurant blast. Russian state media reported that 3 people were killed after an explosion at a restaurant in Moscow. Security officials said a woman tried to enter the building carrying explosives but was stopped by a guard. The reports said the device then detonated. Authorities said an investigation is underway. No group has said it was responsible, according to state media. News 5. WHO says Ebola outbreak worst ever in DR Congo. The World Health Organization said the current Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is the worst on record for the country. Officials reported that the strain has killed 1,587 people so far. They noted there is currently no approved vaccine or treatment for this particular strain. Health teams are working to trace contacts and limit the spread. The WHO called for more international support. News 6. Fighting reported in western Tigray. Clashes broke out near Shiraro in Ethiopia's western Tigray region, according to Al Jazeera. Ethiopian federal forces and the TPLF have blamed each other for starting the fighting. Observers said the violence is one of the most serious tests yet for the 2022 Pretoria peace deal. That agreement ended 2 years of war in the region. Both sides have said they remain committed to peace. News 7. Climber Nirmal Purja killed in avalanche. Mountaineer Nirmal Purja died in an avalanche while leading climbers on Broad Peak in Pakistan, his company said. Purja became widely known for climbing the world's 14 highest peaks in just over 6 months in 2019. His achievement was later featured in a documentary. Company officials said he was guiding 10 climbers at the time. Tributes came from the climbing community around the world. News 8. Army officer killed in North Waziristan operation. Pakistan's military said an army major was killed during an operation in the Razmek area of North Waziristan. The military's media wing reported that 5 members of an armed group were also killed. It said weapons and ammunition were recovered at the site. The military stated its counter-terrorism campaign would continue. The armed group has not commented on the reported operation. News 9. 7 reported killed in Baluchistan raid. Pakistan's military said security forces killed 7 fighters during an operation in the Nushki district of Baluchistan. The statement said one of them was a would-be suicide bomber. It reported that explosives and equipment found at the site were destroyed. The military described the fighters as part of a group it links to outside support. No independent confirmation of the details was available. News 10. Report calls July deadliest month of 2026. An Islamabad-based think tank, PICSS, said July was the deadliest month of 2026 in Pakistan. It reported that 205 people were killed, including 112 security personnel, while 401 fighters died. The group said Baluchistan saw the sharpest rise in violence. It also recorded at least 8 suicide attacks during the month. The figures come from the Institute's monthly security review. News 11. Talks on Reconciliation Commission in Kashmir. PPP Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari said he received a response to his proposal for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The proposal follows weeks of protests in the region. Bilawal said his party would now consult officials and other stakeholders. The Regional Assembly has also backed the idea of an independent commission. He said his main goal was to help restore normal life for residents. News 12. Debate over new administrative units in Pakistan. Several Pakistani politicians called for creating new administrative units or provinces to improve governance. MQMP leaders said rapid population growth made such changes necessary. Former Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi said the wider system needed reform, not only new provinces. The PPP said any change must follow the constitutional process through parliament. The discussion has drawn responses from across the political spectrum. News 13. Parties hold talks after Kashmir vote dispute. Leaders of the PMLN and PPP met to ease tensions over the Kashmir regional elections. The PPP has accused the PMLN of rigging in some constituencies and demanded new voting. The PMLN denied any organized rigging, saying any problems were isolated incidents. Both sides discussed handling complaints through political and legal channels. A second phase of voting was scheduled for Sunday. News 14. Rival parties trade accusations before vote. The PPP and PMLN continued exchanging accusations on the eve of the next Kashmir election phase. PPP leaders claimed the PMLN had never won an election without irregularities. PMLN leaders rejected the claim and pointed to the PPP's own record in past votes. Both parties are coalition partners in the national government. Political tensions have risen as more phases of voting approach. News 15. Families in Gaza search for the missing. Families in Gaza continue to search for relatives who disappeared during the war, according to Africa News. Mothers were reported holding photographs of missing sons while waiting for news. Forensic workers said they are documenting unidentified remains but lack access to DNA testing. This makes identification very difficult, they said. Aid groups have called for more resources to support the effort. News 16. Detentions reported in West Bank raids. Al Jazeera reported that Israeli forces detained several Palestinians, including children, during raids in the occupied West Bank. The report described incidents across Ramallah, Hebron and Nablus. It said settler-related violence had also increased in some areas. Israeli authorities have said such operations target security threats. Palestinian officials have criticized the raids and the detention of minors. News 17. Film highlights Gaza's orphaned children. A film titled Marathon is drawing attention to children in Gaza who have lost parents during the war. Aid groups said more than 58,000 children have lost one or both parents. The film aims to highlight the humanitarian needs facing these children. Organizers said they hope it will encourage more support. The project combines storytelling with calls for aid. News 18. Death toll rises in Ceuta border crisis. NPR reported that the death toll in the border crisis at Spain's Ceuta has reached 67. Officials said some people drowned while others died in a stampede at a breakwater barrier. Tens of thousands were reported crossing back into Morocco. The crisis has raised concerns about migration and border management. Both Spanish and Moroccan authorities have faced questions over their response. News 19. Colombia's Cali prepares major security lockdown. The Colombian city of Cali is preparing for one of its largest security operations in years, according to the Rio Times. The measures come ahead of the August 7 presidential handover. Officials said more than 11,000 security personnel would be deployed. A citywide drone ban was announced, along with a reward for tips about threats. Meanwhile, Medellin's Flower Festival continues nearby. News 20. Argentina sends central bank reform bill to Congress. Argentina's government sent a bill to overhaul the central bank's charter to the lower house of Congress. President Javier Milei outlined the plan in a national broadcast the day before. Officials said the measure would formally enter the record on Monday and go to committees. The government hopes to pass it in August. Supporters and critics are expected to debate its effects on the economy. That's all for today's 20 stories from around the world. Thank you for listening to KeyLang Daily News. We hope these reports help you understand global events and improve your English at the same time. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow.